Islam, peace and love, peace, love, and power, peace, love, and energy, 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 energy. I am Sade Renee L. All rights are reserved, and I'm back at it again with another video. And today I'm actually going to be reading something I came across. It's called Monopoly / Asiatic American Connection to the Continental Americas. And with that being said, per usual, I'm going to just read straight through it. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Please like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and leave a comment. And here we go. Monopoly / Asiatic American Connection to the Continental Americas. Published via the First Amendment of the American Republic Constitution by Morpheus, Ashahed, L. First, I impel the concept of all praise due to the Most High. This script started off as a text message to my brothers, De Ra'el Ali and Marak, Moor cousin, Bay. As I was manifesting this revelation, I realized these concepts ought to be made public. Peace and equanimity. This is the message. Peace, fam. Definition of personal liberty. Mentions protection from unfair monopoly in trade. It is interesting how the Monopoly board game was based off what is now called Atlantic City. In fact, though Atlantic City was Apsion Beach prior to the incorporation of Atlantic City, 1854, Gregorian Sade calendar. This is why you have the Abyssinian lighthouse on this island in North America / Al Morocco called Atlantic City today. If we go back a little further, the word Apsion is a corruption of the Aboriginal American appellation Absinigami. Therefore, Absigami Beach, North America / Al Morocco. Note, Absigami High School uses Moor's Head as the insignia present day. See infra. The little island Absigami Beach / Atlantic City, North America / Al Morocco, modernly is symbolic of all the quasi-national domiciles, claiming jurisdiction over Moors / Americans, ancestral estate / national domicile / North America / Al Morocco. Example, the colonial street names of Atlantic City are inclusive of the 50 states / quasi-national domiciles, just as in the Monopoly board game. The Federal Reserve notes in reality are lawfully as valuable as the fiat fake notes that comes with the Monopoly board game, meaning the FRNs are toilet paper and unconstitutional. All due respect to the necessities in life, think about it, LOL. Try using Monopoly notes outside of the board game and you would be considered crazy. It only has value if you are a participant in the function of the board game. However, what is not funny is the de facto operators don't recognize this as a game, as it is part of their ideology, and the Aboriginal Americans suffer from lack of knowledge of these facts. For those who have no knowledge of this island, trust that everything from Baltic Ave and East Baltic Ave is a headache for parking under colonial operations. You will have to give up some Federal Reserve notes, monopoly money, for comfortable parking of land vessels. In other words, free parking is as valuable on the Absigami Beach, Atlantic City, North America, as on the Monopoly board game. The common traveler will find this true. The above area is a portion of the Moors/Americans' ancestral estate. It is illogical to fold the monopoly board and stop playing where it started at. Would we be able to deal with the reality then? I think so, with a reasoning mind. After all, if you played a game, the objective is for players to move around the game board buying or trading properties, developing their properties with houses and hotels, and collecting rent from their opponents. The ultimate goal being to drive them into bankruptcy, civilter mortuus status. This concept constitutes unfair monopoly of trade, and for that reason is a violation of personal liberty. Also note, the electric company is on the monopoly board. For the record, this publication was made tangible by inspiration of studying the definition of personal liberty and in correlation to protection under unfair monopolies, which is intended to be shared with my American peers, aboriginal to the continental Americas, primitively domiciling in the territory of which the monopoly game corresponds. Absagami Beach, North America, Atlantic City. See definition of personal liberty, infra for understanding. Personal liberty. Freedom from physical and personal restraint. The right to pursuit of happiness. Freedom to go where one chooses and to pursue such lawful occupations as may seem suitable. It is broad sense. Personal liberty would include freedom from unlawful arrest and restraint from unlawful seizures and searches, from assault and battery, from libel and slander, from general warrants of arrest, from unfair monopolies of trade, and from quartering soldiers in time of peace. And it would include also the right to trial by jury, liberty of conscience, the right to travel and immigrate, and to bear arms, and petition the government for redress of grievances. Lawful reference, John Beauvois, Contes Encyclopedia of Law, Francis Rawls, 3rd revision, page 2576, definition of personal liberty. But personal liberty, in its stricter sense, it includes only freedom to move about as one pleases and to pursue any lawful calling. Reference/source of law. Munn versus Illinois, 94 U.S. 14224, ED 77. People versus Mark, 99 NY 377 2NE 29, 52 AM .rep.34. John Bouver's Conscious Encyclopedia of Law, Francis Rawls, 3rd revision, page 2576, definition of personal liberty. Definition of American as a noun, an Aboriginal or any one of the various copper-colored natives found on the continent by Europeans. The original application of the word. Reference Webster's Unabridged Dictionary, page 53, published 1936, Gregorian Sothic Calendar. Example of American, one of the various copper-colored natives found on the continent by Europeans. With respect to these facts, word is bond. I hear the drums beat of Aboriginal Moors/Americans playing in my head as I am writing at this point 1:28 a.m., March 25, Gregorian/Sothic calendar. The sound is so harmonic, but I can't describe it. I will just accept it as a message from the Creator. Definition of moral, adjective, Old French, French moru, from late Latin, morellus, from the Latin word morius, more, morello, murri, of a dark color. Definition of morello, noun, Italian, morello, any of the cultivated cherries forming one of those two groups derived from Prunus cherubus, distinguished by their dark-colored skin, and juice from the amaryllis, the coordinate group. See definition of American. With respect to the correlation of the word Moor, Morelos, and cherries, it gives the impression of intellectual evidence regarding George Washington chopping down the cherry tree and correlates to the Allo-Moroccan American flag. See Taj Tariq Bey's lesson book 14 on that subject. Moors/Americans are aboriginal to North, South, and Central America. Thus, a distinguishing factor needs to be made for the public record that Moors/Americans are not Indians, because the geographical fact is that the continental Americas is not India. India is in Asia. However, Moor/American aboriginal to the continental Americas who are aware recognize self as indigenous or Indu, being the etymon of indigenous. On the same note, the original appellation of what is called India today is really Hindustan, Asia. In reality, the lineal and collateral consanguinity of Moors/Americans aboriginal to the continental Americas is connected with Hindustan, Asia. The book History of the Moorish Empire in Europe, published by J.P. Lippincott Company, 1909, affirms de jure history and connection of Moor service in Hindustan military, and of the Moors teaching and learning Hindustan, Asia, Kohinoor, the Mountain of Light. Herein I honorably quote Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Come all, ye Asiatics of North America, and hear the truth about your nationality, political status, and birthrights, domicile, civil status. Definition of nationality of which Noble Jew Ali summoned Moors to hear the truth about because we Moors needed him, as we needed the truth the most. Nationality. That quality or character which arises from the fact of a person's belonging to a nation or state. Nationality determines the political status of the individual, especially with reference to allegiance, while domicile determines his civil status. See definition of quasi-national domicile, municipal domicile, and national domicile. Reference Henry Campbell's Black Laws Dictionary of Ancient and Modern Jurisprudence, Revised 4th edition. Nation, an independent body politic, a society of men united together for the purpose of promoting their mutual safety and advantage by the joint efforts of their combined strength. Reference John Bouvier's Conscious Encyclopedia of Law, Francis Rawls, 3rd revision. In honor of Prophet Noble Jew Ali's historical divine warning to the nations, Noble Jew Ali made clear that there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendment for salvation of my people and the citizens. And yes, because the 14th Amendment is a part of the monopoly, so these are the list of reasons Moor/Americans cannot be U.S. citizens and law of nature. Number 1, Moor/Americans are natural persons, living beings, living divine beings. Number 2, corporations are persons, as that word is used in the first clause of the 14th Amendment, impartial reference Henry Campbell's Black Laws Dictionary of Ancient and Modern Jurisprudence, definition of person. Number 3, the 14th Amendment section 1, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Number 4. For the fact that Moors/Americans are aboriginal to the Western Hemisphere, the status of Moors/Americans cannot be circumscribed to one quasi-portion of their entire ancestral estate. This is why Noble Drew Ali called on all true American citizens opposed to only United States citizens. The reality is the land is America, not United States. Number 5. For these reasons, Moors, Americans cannot be considered squatters on their ancestral estate. Western Hemisphere, because we are the true possessors of the land and the law of nature. In closing the message, I raise the point, in fact, that Prophet Noble Drew Ali, El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, was of the Cherokee tribe. However, it is declared and proclaimed nationality, in fact, and law, was Moorish American. All due respect to the reader's judgment, the next section of this writing is entitled Cherokee Rose and ties to how this text message started with the concept of personal liberty and unfair monopolies in trade. As well, it correlates with the Asiatic connection to the Western Hemisphere. From the looks of the map below, with a strong arm, you could skip a rock from Alaska, Northwest America, to North Asia. Cherokee Rose, Rose la Vigata, Cherokee Rose, is a white, fragrant rose native to southern China and Taiwan, south to Laos and Vietnam, North American/Asiatic connection. The flower is commonly associated with the Trail of Tears, which is the forced relocation of Native Americans in the southeastern North Americas. Its petals represent the woman's tears shed during the period of great hardship and grief throughout the U.S. government forced march from the Cherokees' home to U.S. forts, such as Gilmer. The flower has a gold center, symbolizing the gold taken from the Cherokee tribe. At this present day, the gold taken from the Moor nationals is relevant to the substitution of the natural substance, gold and silver, for the unfair monopoly trade and unconstitutional FRN's monopoly money. Definition of money. Gold and silver, the common medium of exchange in a civilized nation. Impartial reference, John Bouvier's Conscience Encyclopedia of Law, Francis Walls, 3rd revision, published 1914. Article 1, Section 10 of the American Republic Constitution. No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters of marque and reprisal, coin money, emit bills of credit, make anything but gold and silver coin a tender in payment of debts, pass any bill of attainder ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts or grant of any title of nobility. With these points, in fact, we have evidence that the FRN monopoly notes are uncivilized. We the people have to get back to reality, fam. Bruh. Keep in mind that Chapter 47 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science / Moorish Science Temple of America affirms Moabites/Moroccans are the true possessors of the Moroccan Empire / Western Hemisphere. Definition of Moor, a noun, Moros, dark, from impartial reference, a member of any of the Asian or African dark races, usually adopting the Mohammedan religion, in history, a Sacritan or Arab. Reference Webster's Unabridged Dictionary, published 1936. Definition of Hittite, Hebrew/Ibri/Ibra, Kittim, Hittites, a member of Hamitic people mentioned in the Old Testament, inhabiting Asia Minor and Syria. They seem to be very powerful and highly civilized. Reference Webster's Unabridged Dictionary, published 1936. Definition of Moabite: a member of the ancient Semitic people, closely related to the Hebrews, Ibra/Ibri, an officer of the law, as in a bailiff. Reference 1910 Webster's New International Dictionary. And as you see the pictures, those are examples of Moors Aboriginal to the continental Americas, North Americas, Al Morocco/Northwest Amexem. Noble Drew Ali said, "Help me bring my people back into the constitutional fold of government." Looks like Moorish family to me. Could this be what is meant by uniting of Asia? See article by Morris Ibrahim, Micronite L. Moabite Claims Land, Tennessee, rvbaypublications.com for connection of Moors, Northwest Africa and North America. For further evidence of Asiatic Aztec connection to the continental Americas, see definition of swastika, Sanskrit, swastika, from swasti, welfare, suwel plus asti being. This was originally a religious symbol used in China, Manchuria, Japan, Japheth, North, South, and Central America. Al Morocco is a religious symbol of completion, good luck. Also is a symbolic of the cycle of the sun, circle 7. The observer may see the letter Z overlapping itself, or the number 7 in 4 positions, apparently circular, circle 7. I see the rosy light, the footsole marks, the soft curled tendril of the swastika, the 80 lesser tokens. Thou art Buddha, and thou wilt preach the law, and save all flesh who learn the law. Reference Light of Asia, Book 1, page 8. Max Muller distinguished from the swastika the arms prolonged to the right, the swastika, excuse my pronunciation, with arms prolonged to the left. Other names for the swastika are Fly-le-Fort and Gamidian. This is a picture. Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, stated for the public record that Moroccans are the first nation to recognize the United States. Why did she say nation opposed to country? Think, reference the word Moor. In honor, the last prophet in these days, Noble Drew Ali, El Haq Sharif Abdul Ali, and my national family, I close this with the following quotes from Noble Drew Ali. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate. Maybe love and time will cancel those ancient hatreds. Every living thing is connected to every other living thing. The David of the light is purity, who slays the strong Goliath of the dark and seats the Savior, love, upon the throne. Man will regain his lost estate, his heritage, but he must do it in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Yes, he must suffer trials and temptations manifold, but let him know that the cherubim and the seraphim who rule the stations of the sun and spirit of the mighty Allah who rule the solar stars are his protectors and his guide, and they will lead to victory. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven, and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Original Corsica coat of arms is a woman and air. The main charge in the coat of arms is Corsica, is you, Mori, Corsican, for the Moor, originally a female, blindfolded, and wearing a necklace made of beads. No use is attested prior to 1736, when it is used by both sides during the struggle for independence. In 1970, General Pasquale Paloli ordered the necklace to be removed from the head and the blindfolded rays. His reason, reported by his biographers, was Les Corsals violent y voir clair la libre de marcher à flambeau de la philosophie ne dirait en pas que nos quajones la mi. In English, the Parisians want to see clearly. Freedom must walk by the torch of philosophy. Won't they say that we fear the light? Later, the blindfold was changed to the headband. The current Croatian flag is the Bandeira Testa Mora, flag with head of Mari. Is male rather than female. Has a regular knot at the back of the head. Reference to Wikipedia. In closing, this article was published on the 9th degree, first moon Moorish calendar, year 1433, 29th day of March 2013, Gregorian Sade calendar. This article was published under the First Amendment of the American Republic Constitution, and nothing in this publication is intended to discredit the exciting Monopoly board game, which provides home and family entertainment. Elizabeth Lizzie J. Magny Phillips created a game through which she hoped to be able to explain the single tax theory of Henry George. It was intended to illustrate the negative aspects of concentrating land in private monopolies. Her game, The Landlord's Game, was self-published beginning in 1906. Reference Wikipedia. All right, and there you have it. Just a little history, just a little study material. Again, study well, study all things, keep that which is good, use your gift of discernment. And other than that, again, I always appreciate you guys tuning into my channel. I always appreciate you guys leaving comments. I always appreciate the energy. Until next time, Islamism. Peace.